If you want to have a look all the church sermons, go to the website. So good evening. Good to see you all and good to be here. It's a warm place and God is here. So as I mentioned that last Sunday, which is yesterday, is the last chapter of Jonah. So Jonah just have 4 chapters and I might just have a little bit recap in case some of you might not heard in the previous 2 or haven't read the book before. So Jonah is a prophet. So in the first week, Andrew came and then he shared that from Jonah chapter 1, God sent Jonah the prophet to Nineveh, but he refused. He went to the opposite direction. So then God sent a storm at the end, as fish swallowed him. So that's from chapter 1. And then in chapter 2 and 3 was Di last week. She shared with us that the fish possibly is a whale, swallow, but it didn't really mention in the Bible. So like a big fish swallowed him. And then later on, God just, after 3 days, just command the fish to vomit him on the land. So he was survived after the storm. And God sent him to Nineveh again. And this time, he obeyed. And when he went to Nineveh, he proclaimed the judgment from God, because God said, in 40 days, here will be demolished. This city will be completely destroyed. And then the people respond very good. They repent. And from the greatest to the least, from the king to even animal, they fast, they humble themselves, they put the ash on their heads. Basically, they just plead for God's mercy. And God answered with mercy. So God didn't send calamity on that city. So that was chapter 2 and 3. Now today I'm going to share chapter 4, the sermon from yesterday from P. And I just really love one Bible verse in Jonah 4:2. So if I could just read to you first, and I will just unpack the whole chapter. So when God forgave Nineveh, didn't send anything to, didn't send disaster to the city, Jonah wasn't happy. He was angry because he thinks the people in Nineveh deserve to death. They deserve to be destroyed. But that's God did. God didn't do that to them. And so then Jonah said, I knew that, he said to God, I knew that you are a gracious God and merciful, so slow to anger and abundant in steadfast love and relenting from disaster. So he didn't so he was expecting the city to be destroyed, but it wasn't. And so then he got angry and upset. And then he even got upset and then went on the top of the hill, just oversee the mountain under the sun. And God was so gracious, even though Jonah was angry to his mercy to the city, he provided a vine to make him feel comfort. And so then Jonah was very happy. So at the time things doesn't go on his way, he got angry. When the time you feel comfort, you feel happy. I'm not sure if you relate to this. I think I do. If things happen on my way, then I will happy. If not, I will get upset. I'm not easily angry, but I think I got upset or disappointed. So then I can relate to him how to react. And then P in the sermon, he just made a comparison between Jonah and Jesus. I think it was a good one, so I'm going to share with you. So when God give his plan or give his will to the prophet Jonah just, because it's not fit in his expectation, so he said no. He ran away from God. And when Jesus received the call to die on the cross for all the sinners, he knew that. And he knew it's going to be very difficult. So in the garden, he prayed, if it's possible, please take this cup of wrath away from me. But not as I will, as you will. So he was willing to take the cup of wrath to down the cross. Although he knew that death is going to be a great suffering for him. So there's a contrast. One is flip from God's will, one is willing to take up God's will. And so the other comparison is Jonah was anger and hated his enemy because those people in Nineveh, they did things that are quite brutal. And in the sermon, P even mentioned that at that time, what they did, so one example is they would get their enemy, so those people in Nineveh, if they catch anyone that are their enemies, they will skin them to death. So basically peel their skin off and use as wallpaper. It's too cruel. I even have goosebumps. So that's how they do. So that's why Jonah thinks those people are too much. They deserve to die. And that's his response.